Hello, my lively people. So, a question is on my mind today. When you have a baby or someone you know has a baby, who should they take baby care or child care or breastfeeding advice from? Tell me, if you've had a baby yourself, who did you take or who are you taking advice from and why? Put it in the comment section so that I know. But the reason I'm asking this question is that a lot of times I give advice to mothers or other caregivers, and then they tell me that my mother said, or my mother in law said, or my grandma said. And sometimes the advice that I'm giving them is contradictory to what they are saying that the mothers or grandmothers are saying. So I began to think about this, and I would like to know what you think about it as well. Now, let's examine the role of these two groups of people in your lives. First of all, let's talk about the moms, the grandmas, the mother-in-laws. These people are the ones who will live with you at home. They are the ones who will support you when you have a baby. And we know that it takes a village to raise a child. In the initial days as well, it's very tiring. It's very, I don't know, everything changes. Your whole world changes. All of a sudden, there's a baby who is crying. You need to change diaper. You need to breastfeed. You need to clean. You need to bath. All these things can overwhelm you. And your mother or your mother-in-law or your grandma who has come to give you support, they are the ones whose strength you will rely on in these initial days, at least until things stabilize. And a lot of us are lucky. These people will actually move in and stay with us. In the night, they will carry our baby. In the day, they will carry our baby. And they are there because they are just happy for us. They love us. In a lot of cultures, these people regard your children as their own. So they are there to take care of their children as well. And they want to be sure that everything goes well. And then again, these people have a lot of experience. If it's your mom, that is your mom who took care of you. It doesn't matter if today you are a pediatrician, that's your mom took care of you. And so she has a lot of experience with what she has done, what worked and what did not work. Now let's turn to the healthcare workers. The healthcare workers have been to school to study about how to take care of your child. And a lot of times their knowledge is what is the best evidence available at the time, the best scientific evidence available at the time. Their goal is to make sure that your baby survives, your infant survives, your child survives, and is healthy. Their goal is that your children do not fall sick and come to hospital. And they also have a lot of experience because on a day-to-day basis, they see a lot of children. Midwives deliver many babies in a day. Pediatricians, nurses see many babies a day. So they also have a lot of experience. But what they do not have is time. No matter how much time they have for you, they will not have as much time for you as your mother or your mother-in-law or your grandmother has for you. Because these people will actually live in your house with you most of the time. And if you need to go out and run an errand, they are the ones who will take care of your baby. So you see, all these two groups of people, they are all well-meaning. They want the best for you and they want the best for your baby. But unfortunately, every once in a while, the pieces of advice they give you will contradict each other. So what to do? My suggestion is that you compromise. Now, the advice that you will get from your mom or your mother-in-law or your elder sister or whoever is helping you can be divided into two groups. There is one advice that is harmful to your baby and two, advice that is not harmful to your baby, even if it is not scientific. Let's look at some of these examples. Yesterday, someone told me that their mom said when you breastfeed a baby and your baby burps, you should use the tip of your breast to rub the baby's mouth 3 times, and that is what is going to prevent breast engorgement. We all know that breast engorgement will not be prevented by putting the tip of your breast on your baby's mouth. It will not. Breast engorgement happens because your baby is not emptying the breast, or you are not emptying the breast. That is if you are expressing breast milk. So to prevent breast engorgement, you just need to empty your breast very frequently, and you will not get breast engorgement. So we know that the advice to rub your breast on your baby's mouth is actually not going to prevent breast engorgement. But will it harm your baby? No, there is no harm in doing this. So my suggestion is that in this example, when your mother or your mother-in-law is looking, just do what they want. After all, it will not harm your baby. But when they are not looking, don't bother to do it because there is no reason to do it. An example of a piece of advice that will harm your baby is that even if you are exclusively breastfeeding, you should give water to your baby after a feed. The mothers will say this, the grandmothers will say this because they say that when you eat, you drink water. So when your baby eats, your baby also needs to drink water. Will this advice harm your baby? It can harm your baby because in a lot of countries, the water that we drink, even if it is bottled water, is not clean. And we know that babies' immune systems are still developing. They are not as strong as yours or mine. And so when these babies drink this contaminated water, they can get diarrhea. And it is not necessary. The babies are not thirsty because breast milk is full of water. So you don't need to give water to your baby after a breastfeed. Rather, that can make your babies get diarrhea. And we know that diarrhea is one of the commonest reasons babies or children come to hospital. And it's one of the top killers of babies and children, and we don't want our babies to get diarrhea. So because this advice is harmful, don't take it. Don't give water to your baby after a breastfeed when you are exclusively breastfeeding. But how do you avoid conflict when I'm saying take this advice, don't take this advice? How do you avoid conflict? The solution is that where you are getting your information from, let these people, your mom, your grandma, your mother-in-law, also get the information. An example is this video you are watching. When you watch it, you can share it with your mother-in-law. If you think it is something that will benefit your baby, or your mom, share it with your mom. And then many hospitals and clinics nowadays organize pregnancy classes. That is antenatal information given to you antenatally to prepare you for your baby. When you are going, invite your mother or your mother-in-law to come along with you so that they also hear these things you are going to hear, which you are going to use to take care of your baby. And in those sessions, encourage them to ask you questions. After your baby is born, when you take your baby to hospital, whether the baby is ill or not, even if you are just going for child welfare clinic, invite your mother or your mother-in-law to come with you, to go through the steps with you, to sit with your community health nurse or midwife or doctor with you. And in that meeting, encourage them again to ask questions. Sometimes you need to be sly about it because the moms or grandmoms will not want to ask questions. But if it's something that you know is contentious, just ask, Mom, are you okay? Doctor says that babies should not be given water because we are exclusively breastfeeding. Are you okay with that? You know, something like that. And it will encourage your mom or your grandma to open up. And if the doctor is also quick, the doctor can pick up on body language of your mother or your grandma and know that this is a source of contention, and then it will be addressed. So that is what I think you should do. Let them have the information that you also have. But if this is not possible, after you have gone there and you come home, just have a discussion with the mom. Today when I went, this is what the nurse said, this is what the doctor said, the midwife said, oh, my baby is growing very well, exclusive breastfeeding is working very well, those sort of things. And that is how I propose that you deal with this situation. So in summary, take your breastfeeding advice from your support system at home and then from the hospital, or take your childcare advice from your support system at home and then from the hospital as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video, ask your questions in the comments, subscribe and share.